Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we're diving into one of the most incredible coin stories in American history. That's right, the 1965 Washington Quarter. This coin, once worth just 25 cents, has skyrocketed in value under certain conditions and is now making headlines for being worth a jaw-dropping $86,750. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now could be worth more than a luxury car. So stick around because you don't want to miss a single detail. Let's start with some history. In the early 1960s, the United States was facing a major coinage crisis. Silver prices were on the rise and people began hoarding silver coins. The U.S. Mint had to act fast. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver. But starting in 1965, the Mint stopped using silver in quarters altogether. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This was a huge change. It was intended to save costs and discourage hoarding. The first of these new clad quarters came out in 1965. Now here's where things get interesting. While the official transition happened in 1965, not everything went according to plan. Some silver planchets, the blank discs used to strike coins, were still in the Mint's machinery during the transition. That means a very small number of 1,965 quarters were accidentally struck on the old 90% silver planchets. These silver 1965 quarters are incredibly rare and highly valuable, but how do you tell the difference between a regular 1965 copper-nickel quarter and one of the rare silver ones? Great question. The easiest way is by weight. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. That's a small difference, but if you've got a jewelry scale at home, it can make all the difference. Also, take a look at the edge of the coin. Most clad quarters show a distinct copper stripe along the edge. Silver quarters will have a solid silver or gray edge. So why is this coin worth $86,750? Because collectors go crazy for rarity. In 2019, a 1965 Washington quarter that was mistakenly struck on a silver planchet sold at auction for that exact amount. This coin was in near-perfect condition and had been authenticated by a professional grading service. That kind of money is not common, but it's very real, and someone walked away with a life-changing payday for just one coin, and it's not just the silver planchet errors that are worth money. Some 1965 quarters struck on clad planchets are also valuable if they're in extremely high grades or have mint errors. For example, double die obverse, off-center strikes, and coins with full strike details can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. So how can you tell if you've got a valuable 1965 quarter? First, check the date. Make sure it's a 1965 quarter. Then weigh it. If it comes in closer to 6.25 grams, you might be holding one of the rare silver planchet errors. Even if the weight is normal, examine the coin under good light or with a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling in the lettering, misaligned dies, or unusual markings. These could all increase the coin's value. Now let's talk about the current market. Coin collecting is booming right now. Demand for rare and historical coins is higher than ever. With inflation, economic uncertainty, and a growing interest in alternative assets, more people are turning to collectible coins as a way to invest and preserve wealth. That's why these rare 1965 quarters are commanding such high prices. It's all about supply and demand, and when supply is almost non-existent, prices go through the roof. So what should you do if you think you found a valuable 1965 quarter? The first step is not to clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Leave it exactly as you found it. Then get it appraised by a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin and assign it a grade, which plays a huge role in determining its value. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter is more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a symbol of a historic transition in U.S. coinage. And for a lucky few, it has become a life-changing discovery. Whether you're a casual collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone with a jar of coins at home, it's worth taking a second look. That plain-looking quarter could be your ticket to tens of thousands of dollars. We're diving into the world of coin collecting with a spotlight on one of the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight, the 1972 D Washington quarter dollar. Yes, that humble 25-cent coin you might have sitting in a jar somewhere could be worth as much as $74,750. That's right, almost $75,000 for a single quarter. Now you're probably thinking, wait, what makes this 1972 D quarter so special? That's exactly what we're going to explore in today's video. We'll talk about the history of the Washington quarter, what happened in 1972 that makes this particular coin so rare, and what collectors are paying for it right now on the open market. So grab your coin stash, sit back, and let's dig into the story of one of the most valuable quarters in American coin history. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter, and ever since then, it's been a mainstay of American currency. The original design by John Flanagan featured George Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. That same design remained largely unchanged for decades, until the state quarters program began in 1999. But back in 1972, the design was still the classic Washington eagle version. And millions of quarters were struck that year. In fact, the Denver Mint alone produced over 311 million Washington quarters in 1972. So why is one of them worth so much today? The answer lies in the rare mint errors and ultra-high-quality specimens that have survived over the years. Most quarters from 1972 D are only worth face value or slightly more if they're in good condition. But a select few are in pristine condition, what collectors call MS68 or higher, meaning they're nearly perfect. These are graded and certified by services like PCGS or NGC, and because of their extreme rarity in top condition, they sell for thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars. Now here's the shocking part. A 1972 D Washington quarter, graded by PCGS at MS68, sold for a jaw-dropping $74,750 at auction. That's not a typo. One single coin, struck more than 50 years ago, was sold for nearly the price of a brand new luxury car. And the reason it fetched such a high price? Simply because of its flawless condition. No nicks, no scratches, no wear. Just a perfectly preserved coin that somehow survived 5 decades without a mark. But it's not just about high-grade coins. Some 1972 D quarters also contain rare die errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. These kinds of minting mistakes can significantly raise the value of a coin. For example, a 1972 D quarter with an off-center strike or double die obverse can easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. So what does this mean for you? It means you should absolutely be checking your change, your coin jars, and your old collections. That quarter in your drawer might not just be worth 25 cents, it could be a hidden gem. Even if it's not a $74,000 treasure, finding one in mint condition or with an error could still land you a hefty profit. To spot a valuable 1972 D quarter, look for these signs. Number 1, check the coin's surface. If it looks brand new with no visible scratches or wear, it might be a high-grade candidate. Number 2, inspect the mint mark. The D below Washington's ponytail indicates it was struck in Denver. That's the one we're talking about. Number 3, use a magnifying glass to check for errors. Look at the lettering for signs of doubling. Check if the coin looks off-center or oddly shaped. And number 4, if you think you've got something rare, don't guess. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That certification is what gives collectors confidence and drives up the value. Now let's talk about the current market. As of right now, MS66 and MS67 specimens of the 1972 D Washington quarter regularly sell for between $75 and $600. Coins with visible errors are selling anywhere from $100 to several thousand depending on rarity. And that one perfect MS68 example remains the crown jewel, having sold $4.74, $7.50. So if you've got a 1972 D Washington quarter, check it carefully. Because you never know. One lucky find could turn a simple coin into life-changing money. We're talking about one of the most surprising and valuable coins in recent U.S. history, the 1982 D Washington quarter. This isn't just any quarter. This is a coin that, under the right conditions, could fetch you up to $66,750 on the current market. Yes, you heard that right. $66,750. For a quarter. Let's rewind to 1982. The United States Mint was facing budget cuts. As a result, the Mint made a decision that would end up creating one of the most interesting situations in American coin collecting. In 1982, the Mint stopped producing uncirculated mint sets, the special collector quality coin sets, and scaled back on overall production quality. That year, Washington quarters were struck for circulation at the Denver and Philadelphia mints. But here's where it gets interesting: the Denver Mint produced the 1982 D quarter. Most of these coins were made for everyday use. They were not struck with collectors in mind, which means high-quality examples from that year are incredibly rare. On top of that, the Mint made a subtle but crucial change: it switched from using pure copper planchets to copper-nickel-clad ones. Many people didn't even notice. But collectors did. So why is the 1982 D quarter so valuable? First, condition is everything. Most 1982 D quarters were heavily circulated, meaning they were used daily, tossed in change jars, jammed into vending machines, worn down in people's pockets. That means that finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Now, here's the jaw-dropper. In 2019, a collector submitted a 1982 D quarter to a coin grading service. It came back with an incredible grade of MS68, that's Mint State 68 on the Sheldon grading scale, which goes from 1 to 70. A nearly perfect coin. This specific coin sold for a whopping $66,750 at auction. That sale turned heads and proved that coins from the 1980s can, in rare cases, be worth life-changing money. But it doesn't stop there. There's another reason these quarters are so sought after. In 1982, due to the removal of mint sets, collectors struggled to find coins in top condition. This created what's called a conditional rarity. The coin isn't rare in total numbers, millions were struck, but it's rare in superb condition. That's what drives up the value so dramatically. You may also come across a variety of this coin with a weak or missing mint mark. Some of these errors occurred due to filled dies at the mint. While these aren't necessarily worth thousands, they can still command a premium among collectors. So, what should you look for? Pull out your change jars and old coin rolls. You're looking for a 1982 quarter with a small D mint mark on the right side of Washington's ponytail on the obverse, or head side, of the coin. Check the condition. If the coin is in excellent shape, no scratches, minimal wear, full luster, you could be holding on to something valuable. Better yet, if it looks almost untouched, consider sending it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A grade of MS65 or higher can fetch hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and anything in MS68 territory could be a jackpot. Let's talk current market value. As of today, the average circulated 1982 D Washington quarter is worth its face value, 25 cents. In lightly circulated condition, it may be worth $1 or $2. In uncirculated or mint state, MS65 examples can range from $50 to $250. But once you cross into the high-end mint state 67 or 68 range, prices skyrocket. That record-breaking MS68 example sold for $66,750 and remains one of the highest auction results for any modern quarter in American numismatic history. So why is this important to you? Because this proves that not all valuable coins are ancient relics or silver rarities. Some of the most overlooked treasures are hiding in plain sight. The next time you get change at a gas station, you might be handed a coin that could be worth a small fortune, and here's a pro tip. If you find a 1982 D quarter, hold it up under a strong light. Check for sharp details on Washington's hair and cheek. Flip it over. Look at the eagle on the reverse. Are the feathers sharp and bold? That's a good sign. The more detail you can see, the better the grade, and the higher the value. Before we wrap up, remember that the coin market is always evolving. Demand for modern coin rarities is growing, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that were once considered common. The 1982 D Washington quarter is a perfect example. To summarize, look for the 1982 D quarter with the Denver Mint mark. Condition is everything. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A record-breaking coin sold for $66,750 at auction. You might have one hiding in your home right now, so go ahead, check your pocket change, dig through that old piggy bank, and take a closer look. The next valuable treasure might already be in your hands. We are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1995 D Washington $quarter coin. This is not your ordinary pocket change. One rare variety of this coin has stunned collectors around the world by reaching an astonishing value of $52,750 in the current coin market. That's right, a simple quarter minted in 1995 could now be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So how did this happen? What makes this coin so special? And how can you tell if you have one of these high-value quarters? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be digging through your coin jar with a whole new perspective. Let's begin with a little history. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, introduced to honor the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. The coin design we know today, with Washington's profile on the front and an eagle on the reverse, remained largely unchanged for over 65 years. In 1995, the United States Mint in Denver produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. At first glance, nothing seemed extraordinary about that year's issue. But over time, certain coins began to stand out. These were not your typical quarters. These were numismatic treasures waiting to be discovered. Now, let's talk about the 1995 D quarter. The D stands for Denver, which is where the coin was minted. Normally, coins from this period are quite common. In fact, over 1 billion Washington quarters were struck in 1995. But within that enormous number, a few rare varieties slipped through the cracks. Some of these coins exhibit remarkable mint errors or possess extraordinary strike quality. And when rarity meets demand, values skyrocket. One of the key things collectors look for in the 1995 D Washington quarter is the condition of the coin. High-grade examples that are uncirculated and show no wear are significantly more valuable than their worn counterparts. These pristine coins are known as mint state, and they are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer to 70, the more valuable the coin. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher are exceptionally rare for this year. That's where the big money starts to come in, but there's more. One of the reasons a 1995 D quarter sold for over $52,000 was not just its condition, but also its exceptional strike and luster. The coin had no visible marks under magnification. It was nearly flawless. Combine that with rarity, and you have the perfect storm for a record-breaking sale. At an auction, passionate collectors competed to take it home, driving the final price up into five-figure territory. Imagine holding that kind of value in the palm of your hand, from a coin that once cost just 25 cents. What makes this even more exciting is that coins like these can still be found in circulation. That's right, there's a chance that someone watching this video right now might have a valuable 1995 D quarter sitting in a change jar or tucked away in a drawer. The key is knowing what to look for. So how do you identify a potentially valuable 1995 D Washington quarter? First, check for the mint mark. A small D near the lower right of Washington's ponytail confirms that the coin was minted in Denver. Next, examine the overall appearance. Is the coin shiny and well struck? Does it show crisp detail, especially around Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers? If so, it may be worth a closer look. If you think you have something special, the best next step is to have it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll provide a detailed evaluation and assign it an official grade, which is essential if you plan to sell or insure your coin, but it's not only high-grade coins that can fetch big money. Some 1995D quarters with mint errors also attract serious attention. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, and missing elements. While these error coins are rare, they are highly desirable to collectors. Even a moderate error can bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on its severity and uniqueness. Let's talk briefly about the market. As of now, in 2025, the coin collecting market is more active than ever. Rare and historic coins are in high demand, and prices are reflecting that. Investors and collectors are seeking tangible assets, and high-quality coins are a popular choice. The 1995D Washington Quarter, particularly in top condition, has become a standout. The sale of one such coin for $52,750 is proof that demand is strong and growing. So whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, keep your eyes open. The next time you get change from the grocery store, take a moment to examine those quarters. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. A 1995D Washington Quarter worth thousands of dollars could be just a heartbeat away. Video is going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the 2021 P Washington Quarter dollar coin, a modern piece that's causing a major stir in the coin collecting world. You heard that right, this is not some ancient coin from the 1800s. This is a coin minted just a few years ago, and it's already commanding prices that will leave your jaw on the floor. One particular coin recently sold for an astonishing $40,750. Now, before you go checking your change jar, let's explore why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can identify one yourself. Make sure you stick around to the end, because we're revealing key tips that might help you find one of these high-value coins in your own pocket change. Let's start with a little background on the coin. The 2021 Washington Quarter belongs to the final year of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. However, this specific version, known as the 2021 Crossing the Delaware Quarter, marked a return to the original spirit of the Washington Quarter series. Instead of featuring a national park, the 2021 Quarter features a powerful image of General George Washington leading troops across the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. The front, or obverse, of the coin returned to a classic portrait of Washington, while the reverse gives us a stunning and patriotic glimpse into America's fight for independence. Now, the coin we're talking about today was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the P stands for when we say 2021 P Washington Quarter. Philadelphia minted coins are among the most commonly circulated in the United States, so what on earth makes this one so rare and valuable? Here's where things get very interesting. Not every 2021 P Washington Quarter is worth a fortune, but a few special ones are. The reason for this massive price tag lies in errors, condition, and rarity. Some of these coins were minted with unique striking errors. That means mistakes happen during the minting process, and collectors go absolutely wild for these kinds of rare anomalies. In one specific case, a 2021 P Quarter was graded by a professional grading service and given a nearly perfect score, an MS 68 or higher. MS stands for mint state, and anything over 67 is extremely rare for a coin straight out of circulation. Combine that with a dramatic minting error, and now you have a collector's dream coin. One such coin sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $40,750. That's not a typo. 40 grand for a quarter. That's 163,000 times its face value. So how can you tell if your 2021 P Quarter is worth money? Here are the key things to look for. First, check the mint mark. Look on the obverse, near Washington's right shoulder. If you see a small P there, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, look closely at both sides of the coin under good lighting. You'll want to inspect for die breaks, double dies, off-center strikes, or anything that looks unusual. Coins with these types of minting errors are often the ones that command serious money. Also, consider the coin's condition. If your coin is clean, has full detail, and shows no wear, you may have something special. These are graded by professionals, and top grades like MS 68 or even MS 69 are incredibly rare. Let's talk about current market values. Most 2021 P Quarters in average circulated condition are still worth 25 cents. But certain high-grade or error coins have skyrocketed in value. auction records show sales ranging from a few $100s to well over $1,000, depending on the condition and the era. But that one special coin, graded professionally and featuring an eye-catching and rare error, sold for $40,750. As of now, the collector market is hot for rare modern coins. Prices can fluctuate depending on demand, but coins like this are only expected to grow in value due to their rarity and historical significance. Here's the bottom line. The 2021 P Washington quarter might look like any other coin in your pocket, but some of them are hiding incredible value. Always check your coins. Use a magnifying glass. Learn about grading standards. And if you find something that looks promising, get it evaluated by a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it can be a treasure hunt. A simple quarter could become a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a coin worth big money. Have you found any rare quarters recently? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting.